I wanted to give you a 1 year or a little more than 1 year update on the Quictent Mini Greenhouses that I did a video for last year and installed them over my raised beds. Shortly after installing them over the raised beds, we had an unexpected and unprecedented ice storm in our region. And because our land is mostly wooded, we had quite a lot of damage. We had many trees down, our driveway was blocked, we had no power for almost a week. And unfortunately, we did take some damage to these little greenhouses. They were not destroyed, luckily, but one of the joints on one end of one was broken where a large branch hit it, and both greenhouses had punctures and tears from branches landing on them. I still used them through that season, and in the late spring, early summer, I took the covers, the plastic covers off and put them away, but I left the frames attached to the beds. I just left them out because I wasn't sure where or how I would store them if I took them down, and they weren't really going to be in my way to just leave them out. It turns out I probably should have put them away, only because all of the joints that hold the pipes together on the frame are made of plastic, and over a year's time they are starting to fade in color. I don't think that their strength is compromised yet at this point. They still seem to be holding just fine, but they're not as pretty. I was able to find a replacement part for the piece that was broken. However, I could not find just one or two of those pieces. I had to buy a whole box of like 15 or 20 of that one shape and size. So it wasn't expensive, but now I have a whole bunch of that part that I don't really need, but at least I was able to replace it. I did put the greenhouses back out this year, put the covers back on, and I think I probably will repair some of the holes with just packaging tape or Gorilla Tape or something, and they'll probably work just fine. The one concern that I have is there's a small portion next to one of the zippers where the seam at the zipper has ripped out a bit. It's not going to prevent me from using it because I don't need it to be, super airtight. It's okay if there's a little ventilation, but probably it's going to get worse. So I'm not sure. I'll have to do another update in another year and see if they're still holding up okay. I will try to repair it with tape probably. In general, the plastic is pretty sturdy. Actually, it's pretty thick. But if it does get punctured or cut, then it will tear from there really easily. But it's not easy to puncture. It's, if you just bump into it, it's not gonna just tear from normal use. The only reason I have punctures and tears is really because of the ice storm. So I am using them again this year, and as a matter of fact, I liked them well enough that I purchased 2 more to use on 2 more of my raised beds this year. And this year they were offering a slightly different style, and the plastic on the new style has kind of a mesh, weave through the whole thing, which I think will probably make the plastic even sturdier, better quality. And also the openings are a little different, which I don't actually like that part, except that the part I do like about it is that there's an option when you open it to open just the plastic, and there's a screen underneath, which the other ones don't have. And you can open the screen too if you want it all the way open. So that's a really nice option to allow ventilation on days when it's really, really hot and still keep the bugs out. Because with the original 2, I can open them up to allow them to be ventilated, but it's not going to keep bugs out during that time. So because the openings are different on the new little Quictent greenhouses, I will have to use them slightly differently. I won't be able to access the beds as readily. So the one bed, I actually planted the whole thing first and then put the greenhouse over top. And the other bed, we did attach it, and it's not a planted bed yet. And we just put, there's these little, pipe holder hooks. We just put them around over the frame around the top of the raised bed, just to hold the frame in place in case the wind picks up a little bit. It's not going to just carry the whole thing away and destroy it. And then when I need to access the bed inside, we just connected them on one side, so I can basically turn them and lift them over the bar and lift the entire greenhouse off, or I can leave them connected on one side and open the entire greenhouse like a giant lid so that I can access the bed underneath. That's a little bit of a pain, but I'm thinking that the increased quality with the mesh in the plastic might make it worth it. They're not very heavy, they're not hard to handle as long as it's not windy. So we'll see how these ones compare to the ones I did last year. That's all I've got for you today. We'll see you on that very next video. Blessed be, friends.